Seneca, one of the greatest philosophers of antiquity, devoted his life to the search for inner peace and to understanding the nature of human emotion. He believed that a life devoid of freedom from fear is filled with anxiety and inner struggle that prevent us from achieving happiness. Seneca studied in depth how our thinking and perceptions of reality shape our fears and anxieties, and concluded that it is inner peace that is the basis for a wise and harmonious life. His philosophy set itself one of the most difficult tasks: to teach man to acquire the strength and fortitude that would help him not to give in to panic and fear of the unknown. He emphasized that strength of mind is not the absence of fear, but the ability to live with it, overcoming it with reason and awareness. Seneca said, "He who suffers before necessary suffers more than necessary." These words reflect his belief that fears and anxieties are often figments of our imagination that cause us to experience negative emotions about things that may never happen. We spend enormous amounts of energy thinking about a future that has not yet come to pass, and may never come to pass as we envision it. Seneca believed that anxieties are like shadows. They are always greater than reality because we ourselves give them such power. In his teachings, he was convinced that freeing ourselves from these illusory threats allows us to live a calmer, more balanced life, and to find pleasure in the present moment. Seneca's advice is to focus on the present without allowing our attention to drift into a future full of uncertainty. We often find ourselves trapped in our thoughts, worrying about what might happen. But as Seneca reminds us, the future is beyond our control. The only thing we have control over is our present moment, our behavior and perceptions. He argues that fear disappears when we stop thinking about what might happen and focus our efforts on the here and now to do what we can. This focus on the present not only helps reduce anxiety, but also builds confidence in our actions, allowing us to find inner peace. To lessen the power of fear, Seneca advises analyzing and asking ourselves the question, how likely is it that the event we fear will actually happen? He suggested separating real threats from imagined threats, since most of what frightens us will not actually happen. Our minds tend to dramatize events and inflate minor problems to catastrophic proportions. But when we soberly assess the likelihood of these events, the fears begin to lose their power. Seneca believed that by separating real threats and imaginary fears, we can greatly reduce the level of stress and tension in our lives by allowing our minds to remain clear and focused. Seneca also believed in the power of the mind as a tool to confront fear. The mind, in his view, is what allows us to distinguish true threats from illusory ones. When we use reason to analyze our fears, it gives us strength, helps us not to panic, and to see things as they really are. Seneca urged us to remember that the power of the mind is our shield against uncertainty and anxiety.